my body was asking for it.
Yeah.
I could feel it.
I want weed.
Before I sleep, I was smoking. When I wake up, I smoke. Before I eat, I smoke. I got ulcers. I even went ahead and started smoking cigarettes.
Addiction. I think it's a very important thing to talk about, because there are very, very many of us are dealing with different forms of addiction. But for you specifically, you said you are addicted to weed. So let's start with how did you get introduced to it, and also how are you? Am I digging too deep?
It's okay.
Or how are you dealing with the recovery now? Because as far as I know, you're fighting it.
I used to study in Kenya. I did IGCSE. This is the British curriculum, and I studied with kids who drugs to them was
a daily meal.
Things to do with weed. We used to smell weed when we were in prep. You'd hear people smoking weed in the ceilings and whatnot. You'd see people coming very high, and they wouldn't care. And I didn't smoke weed in school, God willing. But the person who introduced me to weed was someone I was studying with in the same school, and they were doing weed even when they were in school. But after I was done with school, that's when I was introduced to it, after I was done with high school. And I remember the first time I had my first puff, I was crawling like a dog.
Crawling?
Like I was.
You became so high.
I became so lit. I could not. I've never seen myself like that. And I promised myself, I'm like, I'm not going to smoke this thing again. The second time I smoked it, I laughed for like 2 hours. I was laughing uncontrollably. The third time, I think I got used. I started now. Now, my baby daddy was now a very, very,
good weed smoker.
Yes. He even introduced me to cigarettes. So first it was weed. So we used to smoke weed every time we meet, and that's how it got into me. Every time I would meet him. And then the addiction got into me until when I started now buying for myself. I would go to my plug. I would be like, I'm going to the plug. We used to have a plug near home, and I would go to him and I buy weed. And that time I'm living in my mom's house. So what I would do, I would wait until my mom sleeps, and I go outside and I smoke. And then I come back. She wouldn't know. So it became a thing. And then when I came to Uganda, now it even became worse. In 2019, when I came for a vacation.
So access was easy.
Uganda weed is like, you guys, you're living good life here. I'm telling you, if you smoke weed the way, if Ugandans smoke weed the way Kenyans, the Ugandans smoke weed here, you cannot smoke it.
In Kenya?
Kenya, you have to smoke weed at your home, at your house. You can't smoke it outside.
So in Uganda,
Uganda, you have trap houses. You can smoke it even on your border. No one will even ask you. It's
are there trap houses in Uganda? Where is a trap house in Uganda?
There are so many trap houses in Uganda. In Tinda, there are so many. I've gone to Pyong. There's Pyong I've gone to that. There's one in Bukoto called Baristos, but it got closed. There are so many trap houses.
Ooh.
Very many.
You go chill and find.
You just chill. You find your plugs all over. You just go to your plug. You smoke some joints as you're chilling. I even have a plug who has made his house a trap house as well. So Uganda weed is
daily meal.
But people even smoke in clubs. Do you know how surprising that is?
In clubs, I've not seen that.
How many times have I smoked?
But I've seen. Probably you find someone walking in the night. Trying to smoke
even during the day. You hear, even in town. I was in town, Kampala town, and I was smelling weed. I asked the guy, because I was buying trousers for work. I asked the guy, is that weed? Am I smelling the right thing? He's like, yeah, those guys are smoking. I'm like...
That's why they say Uganda is Abu.
Ugandan, you guys have a lot of freedom.
Yeah, I know.
And I feel like it's a good thing. I mean, you're allowed to be
I think that's why we are small-minded nation. Because because we have
The
a lot of
comfort.
freedom and there's too much comfort, you know.
Comfort,
So
yeah.
we don't really dream that big. That's where the problem is.
Hey, in Kenya you can't.
Yeah. So how have you?
Okay, so yeah. So when I got pregnant, I had to reduce on the intake, but I smoked in my first trimester because I had a very, very bad nausea. I used to wake up, vomit every day. So when I reached my 4th month, that's when I decided to quit until when my son, I started smoking when my son was, I think, 4 months, but I was smoking small, not so much because I was breastfeeding. Then when I now stopped, that's when I went back to it, and I was smoking it almost every day. I could not stay without smoking weed. I could not stay without smoking cigarettes. I even went ahead and started smoking cigarettes.
Wow. So why? If you stayed without smoking cigarettes, would it have any impact on your body, on your mind, state of mind, or
the work I was doing then? There was a lot of influence of cigarette smoking, before you enter shift, because it was too the pressure, because it was a new place. That place, actually, it's a very nice place. It's called Mawimbi. I used to work there. So before shift, all of us, most of us, 90% of the staff, 80% of the staff was smoking cigarette. Before you enter shift, we find ourselves at the smoking zone, smoking the cigarette, and then you go for shift.
Aye.
When it reaches a certain, because the pressure was too much, because it was a 5-star restaurant, it was very new, and it was in the market, so we had a lot of clients. It was a very busy place, so the pressure.
So the cigarette helps you.
There's a way cigarette helps you calm down the pressure. I'm telling you, that's why you see some rich people smoking so much. And I understand why, because there's a boss of mine who used to smoke a lot, and I understand why he would do it. It calms you down. When you feel that pressure when you smoke, it calms you down.
Wow,
there's no height in cigarette smoking. You don't feel. There's the only height you feel maybe in the morning when you wake up because you've slept the whole night. So when you wake up in the morning, the first puff you have, you feel that head rush.
Oh.
That is the only thing it has. But when you're in pressure, it reduces. I don't know how, but that's what I experienced. Then, I was smoking the cigarettes plus the weed. When it came to alcohol, I'm not really a drinker. So when I started content, because I've been wanting to stop weed smoking for a very long, I've been telling myself I want to stop. So when I started content, I'm like, why can't I use this to let me
how do they call
distraction.
it? Distraction.
Yes, I was like, let me use content as a distraction for weed. Instead of thinking of smoking weed, I think of maybe doing content, and actually that's how
And you've grown exponentially fast, yeah?
I have. So I concentrated on that until when my phone got stolen and I got stressed and I relapsed.
Oh dear.
I relapsed 2 weeks ago. I think it was on a Saturday. I relapsed and I just called my plug. I'm like, man,
first give me one.
Give me a joint, and ever since then I've not smoked again. I feel like if you're trying to stop, don't be too hard on yourself. I feel like if you're going to stop, start slowly. Say today I'm not going to smoke 2 blunts, I'm going to do 1. Today I'm going to smoke 1-2 puffs, like that. Stop slowly. Don't stop immediately, because
you'll crash.
You'll crash. Because I feel like sometimes you're too hard on ourselves at the end of the day.
Yeah, I know.
So
how is it so far? Because I was watching one of your videos and you're beginning to, what impact as trying to fight addiction?
I lost sleep for 3 days.
You couldn't sleep?
I could not sleep because before I sleep I was smoking. When I wake up I smoke. Before I eat I smoke. I got ulcers because my appetite went so low. You
developed ulcers?
Yes, I developed ulcers. I could not sleep. There's a night I could not sleep at all because of ulcers. What else? Ulcers, lack of sleep. I was feeling weak. There's a time I felt weak. My body was asking for it. Yeah. I could feel it.
I want weed,
but I didn't. I was like, let me first feel this, because I was feeling, there's a way just your body. I was just feeling some weakness. It was demanding. So, yeah, those are the feelings I had. Yeah.
You say that your lips were peeling.
My lips were peeling because the weed, it makes a coating, whatever.
It makes your lips like black.
So there's a way they were peeling after I stopped smoking. Yeah.
You're a fighter.
Yeah, I've been fighting ever since I was born, I swear.
Okay. All right, let's take a break.
Okay.